Slavic dream and grace, of the voluptuous proportions of its ladies, of the warm and tepid love of the women of the East, little is spoken and less is known, and what is known is usually associated with Russian women for the most part. Trying to do justice, we cross the eyelids and set course for the far west, the chosen destination, the Republic of Moldova. Fortunately, Moldovan women are much more unknown and equally attractive than their neighbors in Ukraine and Russia. But, as it usually happens in this life, the lack of knowledge gives them an additional aura of mystery and attraction. The injustices of not knowing them protects them from Western interference and its pernicious and unnecessary winds of change. Walking through the quiet streets of Chisinau is to see how harmonious their white faces are, with geometric symmetry, soft features and high fuselages, well proportioned, and with curves that draw sighs and thoughts in the imagination of many. Slavic beauty has its origin or starting point very close to here. More precisely in the northern part of the Carpathians. They are the largest ethno-linguistic group in Europe. Their morphology is slightly different, and that is why many of these ladies have hair as black as night. Others are as blonde as the sun, and others less red-haired like the fury of a volcano. They have a sweet character as long as you know how to understand it. First impressions and encounters are the most memorable. But if you come from a Latin culture, you will probably find them cold and distant. It is the duty of a good gentleman to know how to exchange coldness for sweet favors. Few people visit these latitudes in search of love, and among those few, most of them are Europeans. The Latin American presence in this part of the world could be said to be negligible or statistically null. But if by chance your heart got entangled in these atmospheres, you should know some particularities that you will have to overcome. There is a certain fear of girls to marry foreigners. The local religion is Orthodox. If a Moldavian girl marries a person of another religion, she might not be accepted by her family. The Latin soul and the Moldovan are of different temperaments, while Moldovans are much more open than their Russian and Ukrainian neighbors. A Latin American will have a somewhat narrow initial perception of the ways and means of social interaction. The image of the Latin American in the little Moldovan heads is something that has both brought them closer and distanced them from each other at the same time. Unlike Kevin and his difficult anatomical interpretation, these soap operas sell a graceful, romantic and seductive Latino, which, although tempting, is loaded with a dose of extreme drama that ends up scaring away the criteria of peace and tranquility typical of these societies. Communication will be an issue. Many of the girls only speak Romanian, the official language. Others will be fluent in Russian. A few will speak English to a greater or lesser extent, and virtually none will speak Spanish. There is no romance or friendship without effective communication. If you have never heard the local language, here it is.
Presa și mass media spaniolă sau, a țării respective încearcă să vadă numai părțile urâte.
I am very sorry, my dear and well-tanned Brian, but evil tongues and the classic phrase very quietly, a neighbour's friend told me. They whisper that certain skin colours are not always well received. But don't be sad either. It's all a matter of perseverance. The economic situation in the country is not the best. Moldova does not belong to the European Union and is considered the poorest country in Europe. So with a bit of good education, charisma and solvency, you will be able to level the scales in your favour. There are many local women who would like to leave their country and start a new life abroad. Unlike Jennifer Shakira, her 3 marriages, her countless relationships and her 17 children, these girls want and dream of getting married. Their goal is a serious and long-term relationship. They will try to establish healthy bonds and eventually get married. Above all, they are looking for a stable relationship with a man who, if possible, has a comfortable economic position. Calm down, my unfinanced and impoverished Kevin. Before you criticize this point, you should know that this relative interest in the patrimony of the gentleman represents a guarantee for the stability of the family that is being built. The currency of exchange are extremely faithful, attentive, and loving wives. In short, a traditional woman dedicated to her home and family. If you walk through the streets of the capital, you will see that although there are no defined traits in local women, the magic of Slavic beauty ends up being the homogeneous factor par excellence. The local women are discretion and virtues. If you pretend to meet any of them through pages or internet sites, you will most likely be scammed. There have been numerous scams with fake profiles, as I usually say. You can always find them without looking for them. Now that you have a more complete picture, maybe it's time to pack your bags and plan a trip to Moldova. Thanks for making it this far. If you liked this video, remember to give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you in this content I leave you here, or in a few days in a new video. And if you come to this ranch in search of love, remember to behave well. I know you. Bye.